Uh, Reading response for week 3 for acting theory in America. I guess I'm going to talk about the studio chapter first because I don't know if I read the incorrect chapter because I'm not entirely sure what I was supposed to get out of that chapter other than the fact that this studio exists and that famous people come from it. Like I after I had posted my response, like I went through and I was looking through everybody's responses and I'm like, wow, people have a lot of things to say about this. But literally the entire chapter was like Strasberg was the artistic director. It exists. It's free. Uh you get a lifetime membership if you audition and are accepted. And now there's a fine arts program that you can get a master's in fine arts, and that other famous actors will come and talk to you about it. But you have to pay money for that part. Um, so I'm not like I'm glad that I know that this exists, I guess, but um as far as it being a very like something to like analyze and like talk about, I don't think I'm getting all of the points for this week because I don't know. The other reading though was much more dense. And it actually had a lot of like really interesting things in it. I did like that there was a lot of conversations in here about like how they he about how people have so many criticisms about method acting, but but all of the criticisms are a huge oversimplification of like what actually things are about. A couple things that stood out to me was like literally like on the second page where it was talking about Bernstein, that he was at a conference where participants turned to pose a question to two empty chairs, which is actual like like a actual like psychotherapy technique. But prior to becoming a teacher, I was a therapist, so we definitely like learned about that. And a lot of like the method acting stuff that we have are a lot of them are tied in to different psychological principles, like especially when it comes to talking about effective memory, where the action that it's really important that that there is the difference between like actually like having the emotion on stage and having the memory of the emotion on stage, which because when we're acting on stage, like we need to show like the physical like representations of the emotion, and not necessarily like the psychological damage that comes with those emotions. Um, the the quote that I really really liked was that hold on, where is it? that it should always only be remembered emotion, and emotion that happens right now spontaneously is out of control. And remembered emotion is something that the actor can create and repeat. And without that, the thing is heretic. Because you are remembering the sensory conditions starting the event. You don't start to remember the emotion. You start to remember the place, the taste, the something, the touch of something. And you touch the things in your mind, but you're with your senses alive. That's like, I think, like really important, especially to do effective memory safely. So something, I am a giant nerd, and I go LARPing. So like literally I pretend to be a person and I go spend a weekend in the woods like doing aggressive math at people. Like I the one that we're currently doing is like we have Nerf guns and we shoot each other with the Nerf guns and we're all pretending to be a character. And you wake up as that character, you eat as that character, you sleep as that character. You are put in these situations which some people have gotten hurt every once in a while. Like you have to like pause it every once in a while because like people twist an ankle because like you've slipped and fallen on some rocks. But like everything is in character. And at the end of the weekend, we do a debrief, to kind of like put the character away and come back into being like who you actually are as a person. And there's a thing called bleed where literally your character's feelings and emotions are bleeding into you, the person. And that's a problem. So I like that like they very much made the differentiation between that. Especially because like they mentioned that like Marilyn Monroe was considered like example A of why method acting is bad for you. And like it very much implied that like Marilyn Monroe's issues had more like to do with method acting than like the fact that like she was an abuse victim, and like Hollywood in the 1940s and 1950s was like super exploitive. But that couldn't have anything to do with it. Possibly. I don't know. So there was a lot of really interesting things to be said with this week's chapter. I found one chapter really useful. I found the other chapter kind of dumb, but overall, I hope everything turns out well. I don't know why I ended this like this. Okay, bye.